A hiker goes deep into the mountains with a dead satellite phone he keeps only for emergencies. It has no battery. No SIM. And hasn't worked since the 90s. But on the third night alone in the woods, it rings. And the voice on the other side knows his name. His route. And a childhood secret he's never told anyone. I've always loved solo hiking. People say it's dangerous. That the wilderness doesn't forgive mistakes. But honestly, the silence is the only place where my head stops spinning. Last month, I took a 4-day trek through the Harridan Ridge Trail, a stretch of dense forest cut between black granite mountains. No cell service. No roads. Just raw land. I always bring one weird item with me, an old, dead satellite phone my dad gave me before he passed. The thing doesn't work. The battery's swollen, the buttons stick, and the antenna is cracked. He used it when I was a kid, back when he worked remote surveying jobs. He'd always say, "If you're ever lost, this phone will find someone." It never made sense. It still doesn't. But I carry it anyway. A piece of him. A kind of superstition. I never expected it to ring. Especially not in the middle of the forest, at 2:13 a.m. With zero power. I started my hike early. The first day was calm, clean skies, soft wind, everything perfect. I camped by a little frozen stream. Made dinner. Hung my food bag in a tree. Crawled into my tent and slept like a rock. Nothing strange. Not yet. Around noon, I heard something weird. A popping sound, like an old radio warming up. I ignored it. Bears sometimes step on dead branches like that. But later, while filtering water, I heard it again. Pop pop pop. 3 sharp clicks. Rhythmic. Precise. Like, intentional. But the forest was empty. No wind. No animals. Only stillness. I brushed it off and kept going. That night, though, the forest changed. Everything became too quiet. Not peaceful, dead. Like something was holding its breath. I climbed into my tent and lay there, eyes open, listening. Around 1 a.m. I heard the clicks again. 3. Perfectly spaced. Right outside my tent. I shot up, heart pounding. Shined my flashlight. Nothing. No tracks. No movement. Just the dark. Day 3, the phone. The trail narrowed as I climbed into the ridge. Cold air, thin oxygen, the kind that presses against your lungs. In the evening, I set camp in a clearing between 2 boulders. I felt uneasy. Like someone was standing behind me all day. I chalked it up to paranoia. But when night came, everything snapped. I had just zipped into my sleeping bag when pop pop pop. Those 3 clicks again. Close. Very close. I held my breath. The forest remained silent for 10 seconds. Then it happened. Re-theoring. My backpack vibrated. I froze. No way. No. Impossible. The satellite phone, the dead, ancient, battery-corroded satellite phone, was ringing. The screen, which hasn't turned on since I was maybe 6, glowed a sickly green. No number. No caller ID. Just one word. Incoming. I don't know why I answered. Curiosity. Fear. Instinct. I brought the cold plastic to my ear. Hello. Static hissed. Heavy breathing. Then a male voice, low, distorted, like someone speaking from underwater. Sam. My blood froze. No one calls me Sam except my father. Everyone else uses my full name. I pulled the phone away and stared at it. Then the voice said, "Don't move your tent. The thing behind you doesn't like sudden movement." I spun around so fast my neck cracked. Nothing was there. Nothing visible. But the air felt wrong. Thick. Electric. Like someone was inches behind me. I brought the phone back to my ear. "Who is this?" The voice chuckled softly. "Not friendly. Not human." Then it said something that almost made me drop the phone. "Why did you push Liam?" My breath vanished. Liam. My childhood neighbor. My best friend. When I was 9, Liam fell off an unfinished treehouse platform and shattered his leg. Everyone thought he slipped. Only I know the truth. I nudged him, a stupid, jealous instinct, and he fell. I never told anyone. Not my parents. Not any therapist. No one. I whispered. "How do you know that?" The voice responded instantly. "Because I watched." The forest goes dark. I turned on my flashlight. It flickered. Dimmed. Died. The moon itself seemed to fade. The entire world went pitch black. Then I heard breathing, not from the phone this time. From outside my tent. Slow. Wet. Guttural. Not an animal. Not a human. Like something that had lungs. But didn't know how to use them. My hands shook as I whispered into the phone. "What do you want?" The voice answered with a sound I still hear in my nightmares, a slow inhale, like it was savoring my fear. "Company. Don't you miss your father, Sam?" I felt ice creep up my spine. "My father is dead." Silence. Then who do you think gave me your number?" "The visitor." Something scraped against the tent. Claws. Nails. A tool. The fabric tent wall pressed inward, as if something was leaning on it, something heavy. Then it slid across the tent roof, slow and deliberate. My breathing was shaking so hard I couldn't even keep quiet. The phone buzzed in my hand. "Sam. Listen." I couldn't respond. The thing outside, it only hunts liars. I clenched my teeth. "Tell me what really happened to Liam." "No, no, no, no." The tent pressed harder, the ceiling drooping inward like someone was pushing down with their entire body weight. The voice hissed. "Say it." "I didn't mean to push him." I whispered. "It was an accident." I was angry but I didn't mean. The pressure on the tent suddenly eased. The breathing stopped. The forest went silent again. Then the voice said. "Good. Now run." The chase. I exploded out of the tent, grabbing only my boots and the satellite phone. The forest was pitch black except for a faint green glow from the phone screen. Behind me, somewhere in the darkness, something big moved. Branches snapped. Leaves shook. Heavy, dragging footsteps. I sprinted blindly, scraping my legs on rocks and roots, lungs burning. The voice spoke again. "Left." I turned left. Something crashed behind me, something massive, landing exactly where I'd been a second earlier. Down the ridge. Now. I slid down the slope, dirt and gravel tearing my palms. A scream echoed behind me, high, animal, furious. But not fully organic. Like someone imitating a scream without understanding what fear is. I kept running until I hit a shallow ravine. The phone vibrated violently. "Drop into the water. Do not look back." I leapt into the ravine stream, ice-cold mountain water soaking my clothes. And then something stopped at the edge behind me. Breathing. Sniffing. Searching. Like a predator confused by the scent being washed away. I stayed underwater as long as my lungs allowed. Then. Silence. When I surfaced, the forest felt normal again. The moonlight returned. My flashlight worked. And the satellite phone was dead. No power. No glow. Nothing. Like it never rang at all. The final message. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. At dawn, I packed up and hiked out. Barely made it back to the trailhead. When I reached my car, I threw the sat phone into the back seat. It didn't turn on. Didn't ring. Didn't even show a battery icon. But as I drove away, I glanced at the reflection in the rearview mirror. The screen was glowing again. A new message. See you on your next hike. Under it. A second line appeared. Bring the truth. The phone hasn't worked once since that day. Except. Last night. I heard the same 3 clicks from my hallway. Pop pop pop. If you want more terrifying stories like this one, make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss what comes next. And if you ever go hiking alone, leave dead devices dead. Some things answer calls. They were never supposed to.